va a sacar nada y al contrario va a llevar, con la deportación de estos niños, va a llevar a estos niños de regreso a su casa donde les espera situaciones de peligro de muerte y pobreza. We're going to be in and out because they don't show up. Right to make laws. Where?
This is the only sign I brought today.
Got anything you want to say? Just a little YouTube video kind of what's kind of going on, or the solidarity approach here? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I try to come out when I can to support immigrant rights, and I'm for open borders. I think that immigrants need to be unionized and that we're more powerful that way. That unemployment and inflation is not caused by immigration, but the profit system itself, and that companies cross borders freely, and borders have crossed people too. So it's a humanitarian issue, and it's a human right, the freedom to travel. That's how I look at it. I'd also like to put out there, there's a political prisoner held in Mexico federal prison called Nestora Salgado. And she was involved with organizing, community organizing, which is legal under the Mexican Constitution, and reduced crime and murder drastically. But after the sheriff was arrested and going against government officials more, she was thrown in jail, and she's also a naturalized citizen from Washington.
And she's been in jail for quite a while now, a few months, I think.
More than a few months. I don't know exactly how long unless I look it up to refresh my memory.
Boy, it's terrible. She's still in there. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up too. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Okay.
But then I think after that, maybe
I'm looking for that other video game.
God gave them. I know it's God, but my God, it opposes that we become people and take over land. Because of justice or something like that. Oh, and by the way,
so you want the American Indians to control the whole country now?
No, I didn't say that.
You said we don't have the right to set the controls, so you're going to set
No, I didn't say that. You say that.
I don't care what you're saying.
What I am saying is...
I am saying that there has been political things, and land has changed from one country to another over and over and over and over again.
Yes.
Whoever's in control at the time has the right to set the rules and the boundaries and the laws.
At which time?
At the present time.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to take control, you cause a revolution and overtake the U.S. government, and you can set the rules. Or you elect officials, they'll vote the way you want them to vote.
But I think that's not our discussion right now. Our discussion is, are you doing the right thing? Is this government doing the right thing? Does this government and the people understand why people come here today? Do you understand why the global economy and the powers, the army is going to take over other lands? Are they causing something that people in the world that are getting very upset, very poor, dying in the millions, caused by this country? So what kind of response do you need?
Caused by us?
Yes.
Yeah. U.S. imperialism.
Which army has been going to Iraq? Which army has been going to Afghanistan? Who paid for the wars in Central America, which kids that have
the
to come now?
United States have had allies in every battle they've gone to.
Yeah, but the main ones have been the United States imposing and getting others to support them. A few of them, not many.
I am for law and order.
Which order? In which law?
The law set by the United States government.
Yeah.
Whether they have the right to do that or not, they are in control. You obey their laws.
Yeah, but
Do we have freedom to speak out and say what we want to change and things that are wrong or
Yes.
improper? Just like we feel like this isn't very loving or proper, so we're kind of making a stand to say, look, check this out, it's not right. How do you feel about laws that are wrong?
Well, I'd say it's wrong to take those children from their parents, sending them thousands of miles away on a dangerous trip where hundreds die along the way.
Well, nobody's sending there purposely, but they're trying to have a better life. People
They're
want
sending them purposely
oh no,
to
li-
get a
listen,
better
listen.
life, right?
I know one thing.
Uh-huh.
What's your ancestors from? Who are they from?
From France, Germany, and
Excellent.
England. That I know.
How did they come here?
I don't remember that far
You don't
back.
remember? No, but you just read the books of history, right?
They immigrated legally.
What? Oh. I don't think that there was any laws when they were coming here. And legally, they didn't need any papers. What do you mean legally?
When
And the second thing, many of the
can you state when they started immigration laws?
and for who was those laws? You know how they started immigration? They went, they invaded areas, they stole people from Africa initially, and they brought them here as slaves. That's how started immigration, forced. And nowadays we still have that forced immigration to help.
That
the
was
country
legal
to
too.
develop.
Slavery was legal.
It was legal.
And it was terrible.
And
It was a
just
horrible
40
thing.
40
Horrible.
years ago, and not just that, a few years ago, they just took away the law in Oregon that it was illegal to marry a Chinese. It was just a few years ago, and it was in the law. So
That's a horrible law.
horrible things that happen. So then let me ask you a question.
So you elect
Let me ask you a
honest
question.
people
Yeah.
to the government
Yeah.
offices, Senate and House,
Yeah.
and have them change the laws.
Yeah.
So you would support new laws that would allow everybody to freely come?
Yes,
You would?
I would. If they wrote a law that did it,
So one last question, and then I'll stop. So you're okay with unjust laws? You are okay with that
If it's unjust.
if it's unjust? And what kind of beliefs do you have?
you think it's unjust, I think it's just like the others.
No. I'm talking about detaining people unjustly with no causes, and people based on the race, based on the immigration status, not the criminal stance, that kind of thing.
I say anyone that comes to this country needs to come in legally.
Yeah, but do you know that's impossible, right? Do you know the system and how it works? Do you know it? Have you tried it? Do you know it?
Are you positive it doesn't work?
Yes. Oh, completely. Everyone knows it.
I know the only reason it doesn't work is because it isn't
Listen,
obeyed.
have you traveled abroad?
Isn't enforced.
Have you traveled abroad?
No, I haven't.
That's
in the
that's very
military.
sad because you can go to many countries and they don't ask you anything. You just go
welcome
there
you.
and visit. They welcome you.
That's fine.
See? No, it's not fine. But this country, it's not fine with this country.
Let me tell
setting
you
the
one
rules.
thing, absolutely
And I'm-
beyond a shadow of a doubt. There is no legal way for those children to come to the United States. Absolutely, no matter how long they're willing to wait, there is no legal way for them to do it.
And they should not be here.
They should just die. They should just starve.
They should do the best they can.
And if that means dying and starving, you're all right with that because you just think that it's just too bad.
Yes.
Think about that. Think about the position you're taking. Think about what your beliefs are, what your ethical and moral and religious beliefs are, whatever they are, and say to whoever it is you believe in, it's all right for these children to die. It's all right for them to starve. It's all right for them to see their families starve because there's no legal way for them to come to America. That's your belief. Is that your belief?
Partly what I believe. I believe that the United States should aid to those countries so they aren't as bad as they are. So that the attraction to come here illegally is less.
If the conditions were such that the people in those countries didn't have to come here to survive, they would stay there. Because who the heck wants to come to a place?
Let's work on that.
Well, we are.
We're all in favor of that. We want to get the U.S. corporations off their backs. We want to give them humanitarian aid. But if we do that, then there won't be a problem. But in the meantime, children are dying.
They're kept in these prisons too, in holding cells for months and months and months, just crammed in these cells.
Your position, your belief is that if they can't come here legally and the conditions in their country are driving them to desperation, that's just too bad. You'd like to see more foreign. Are you out working for foreign?
Why do they have to come to the United States? Why can't they go to another country?
Because this is the only one.
And why your ancestors came to this country to? Why they didn't
Same
go
reason-
to other side?
same reason my ancestors
why
and
your
yours and
ancestors
all of
came
ours.
to this country. See, are you aware you are standing on Indian lands? Are you aware of that? Do you know that? Where you stand right now? Or not?
That is the truth. I mean, we know that. We know that, and times have changed, but it doesn't make it right to where we've ended up at. That's my thing. And one little thing I want to say, and I'll let you talk, is that a lot of people here are standing to contrast that we're standing in love for one another, and because we care about each other. And I love I don't know a lot of these people, but I love them, and I love you even, you know. So why don't we love each other and work together in solidarity for love and these children, beautiful people, all these beautiful, you're a beautiful person, I am, you know. Let's work together. That would be so cool. That would be so cool.
What do you think if our grandchildren, your grandchildren is at the border right now, and you see people like you? What do you think about that? Do you think something just kill them, or
Who cares?
risk? Have you think about that? You believe in God?
Yes, they do.
Do you think God likes that?
But there's also a devil.
Who is the devil? Is the devil the one who is keeping the children from gaining safety?
It's a
all
tough.
pretty staged. It's all pretty staged.
What's
This
pre-staged?
border surge is pretty staged.
Pre-staged by whom?
I believe that Obama has basically put out the message in conjunction with the Mexican government to just send everyone up here to push the amnesty.
Do you have any evidence of that?
Yeah, on July 7th, presidential meeting in Mexico, the Mexican government decided to give regional visitor cards to anyone wishing to go all the way through Mexico to the United States. Otherwise, they've got a zero tolerance policy toward illegal immigration. But they've basically waved everyone through. Okay, that's a fact.
That's Obama.
No, that's the Mexican government, and Obama is doing nothing to stop it. Plus, he has basically advertised around South America
Well, you know what?
that we've got an amnesty we need to push, so send them up
Why
and we'll
don't
find
we?
a place.
Why don't we welcome them?
Because
Why do you think they're coming? Is it because conditions are
well,
so great
I'm
at
more
home?
worried about our entry-level poor and minorities and citizens.
What are you
who need
doing
jobs.
for our entry-level poor and
Well, I
minorities?
try
Are
to
you out
give
there
them
working?
jobs when I can.
Good.
Yeah, but you know, too many people suppress wages. When you have
No,
too
undocumented, illegal people suppress wages.
And-
legal people who are welcomed here and given green cards,
numbers
are
suppress
have
wages.
to compete with-
numbers suppress wages, whether they're legal or not. Too many numbers suppress wages, which is
Absolutely.
why Cesar Chavez was very against illegal immigration. Do you know that? He actually sent his thugs around to camps to break knees to send them home because he didn't want to suppress Chicano wages of American Chicanos. And that's
Wages are bad in America. They are bad, and we need to raise the minimum wages and,
Well, you
well, you
and more
can't do
jobs.
that when people come a dime a dozen. You can't do that, or else
sure
you have
you
high
can.
wages
Well,
in
yeah,
China.
these, or
you
no,
have
we
high
can't.
wages in India.
I think what we can't do is take our jobs and all the big factories overseas, and then we have no jobs. And then when anybody comes here, we look at them, and you're stealing our jobs when the corporations took all the jobs out of here.
Well, that's not the issue now. We've got the
I grew
people
up
and not
in
the jobs.
Chicago, where there were thousands of factories in the city, and any male, white male, could go out and get a job any day of the week, a living
And now they
wage
can't.
job, and now they can't. And it's not because there are Chicanos or Guatemalans there. It's because there's no factories there. Because
so
they've
why
all
bring
moved
in
away.
more when they're taking what jobs there are? That's in factories and warehouses.
I don't think
and
the question is not so much why bring in more. It's like, let's get the jobs back.
Well, that's fine, but they're not here right now.
No, they're not. But then what that causes us to do is start looking around and going, where's your papers? You're one of them that took my job. When they didn't take the job, they're just trying to work and
No,
provide a
that's
family instead of
ideologuing-
robbing.
That's
And
ideologuing the issue.
And those people have exactly the same right to a job
They
that I
don't
do.
have the same right here, though, because we
Yes,
have our
they
own
do.
court. No, not according to the law.
According
and
to
our
whose
federal,
law?
Federal government's law.
But it's not, they didn't vote for it.
Who didn't?
Those children, they didn't vote for that law. They're-
Those children have been pretty much dumped over the fence by their parents as part of a collective effort, because kids don't think of leaving their countries on their own. They just don't.
Believe me, those
Well,
children.
then why aren't children fleeing Chicago? Because there's
Actually,
violence
they are.
there,
Chicago, Chicago has got a
Well, prove it.
population about half what it was when
Yeah,
I
but their
was
parents
there.
are taking them. They're not just saying, kid, leave town. They're just not.
People's condition. Can you imagine what it would take for you to allow your child to face the dangers that these children are facing?
They're putting their own kids through that danger.
Why?
Americans aren't.
Why are they doing
Because
that?
they want amnesty. It's
They want a better life for what they got.
Yeah, well,
And
we
that's
can't
not-
take in the entire
possible
planet,
future for their
unfortunately.
children.
And I don't want to try.
I'm willing to share. I'm willing to share with you, with him, with everybody
You're
here.
nothing. You're willing to work for nothing.
I would take a cut. I would take a cut, and I would
Sure you
even.
would.
I would.
But
Well,
your
you have to
ancestors,
prove it.
where they came from?
I would. To help everybody.
Where they came
I'll give
from?
you my address.
I
That's
can't
70,
fix where they
10%
came
of your
from.
life.
They need to fix where they came from.
They came.
I try to help wherever I can, you know, and I'm trying to help and love one another, and that's what I want to support.
If you're
So
concerned
yeah.
about,
Well, we can't change history. We can only live with what we've got.
let's make our future.
Yes.
Let's make the future better.
I don't want a global or regional government. I want sovereign countries where the representation goes with citizens, not just whoever marches in and.
And so if somebody crosses the border, you want a prison that they could be thrown into, because that's what we
No,
got. Well,
no.
we got those right now.
Export them. Send it
Yeah.
back.
Well, right now we don't even have that. Our law has a prisons. They're jammed in these prisons and just waiting days.
That's
No,
Obama again.
Obama let 68,000.
Well, it's not all Obama. It's our federal government who you guys voted for, who's elected, that's
No,
represented
I did not
us.
vote for Obama
No, well, you
or
vo-
this federal
I know.
government.
But you believe in law.
But
I
you
do
want to
believe in law.
well, that's the law says that we can cram them in jails and keep them there forever.
No, we don't, though. We turn them loose on the streets.
They're crammed in
68,000 on the
jails and they're
street.
in the street. But
And they're on our Air Force bases now, too, including Lackland. It's being used as a detention center.
and who are they? They're
processing
people.
center.
They're people.
Yes, so
they're
am
human
I,
beings.
and I
Well,
have
I love.
representational rights in my country, and they have theirs, and I don't go there illegally.
And so this picture of
You don't go to Guatemala. You don't have to.
No, I don't.
They welcome you. They welcome you.
And
They
I
welcome
wouldn't
you.
go there illegally. I would never go there
No,
illegally.
the problem is that the money of this country, the companies, the army has gone there.
Oh, the army's there.
Destabilized, to steal, and to kill.
U.S. Army.
So,
You've got
yeah.
plenty of your own corruption.
So the U.S. Army's down there doing that.
Listen, They have their own
Corporations.
corruption thanks to the U.S. government that came in and corrupted more than what they are to get advantage of it. For you to have the cheap stuff, do you see where's everything made of and everything you have? Do you know where they
Yeah,
come
foreign
from?
countries.
And do you know how the
We should be
process
making
happened
it here.
and how they did it?
Yeah, but I didn't
Yeah, so
create
then
the
you should be
economic
protesting
problem.
against that because they're the ones that
Don't blame
that appro-
Americans for it.
No, it's not an invasion.
Don't blame Americans for being invaded.
You know what? The first invasion.
You've got good clothes. You've got health care.
Yeah, and I want them to have the same thing in their country.
But they can't have it in their country.
Well, they need to fix their own
The
corruption.
Europeans came and invaded this continent and
And
killed
we
the
can't
people
fix
and
the
took over.
history. We can't
No,
fix the
listen,
history.
no, but you
could have different
No, after the Mexican-American War, you could decide whether you wanted to live in the U.S. or in Mexico. The ones who chose to live in Mexico are now coming over the border and saying, our current laws don't matter. And if current law doesn't matter, it's just chaos everywhere.
If current laws.
Well, they're from Guatemala and all over the
No,
place.
it's a nonsense. Injustice. I'm imagining she's Christian. Are you Christian?
I'm not going to talk to you about my personal life.
No,
at all.
exactly, because if you are, this continent is the God and all that stuff.
He also
who do
says,
you
render
think?
unto Caesar his due, which means you're supposed to follow the laws of your government, not make them up on the spot.
Even illegal bad laws like slavery and.
No,
but
because
this-
that was an immoral law, and
Right.
changed.
We're getting there. Immoral law.
Exactly, that's where we're getting the.
That's exactly the point.
No,
Actually,
chaos is-
why
no,
Christ
no.
died and why did Christ
No,
die in the
promoting
cross?
chaos is not moral law.
It's not chaos. It's love.
It's chaos at
It's
the border.
love.
Well, then you haven't seen what kind of people are coming across in addition
I
to
can-
the
Oh, I
children.
have.
No, but listen.
Believe
listen,
me, I have.
Listen, why did this guy
No, you
just
have
call
not.
Jesus Christ die in the cross?
What about the prayer
No,
rugs
just
now
tell me,
being
why
found
did he
along the
die?
border?
For our sins.
Terrorist cells
Why
do
did he
too.
die for? No, not just that.
We have
Why did he
prayer
die
rugs.
for?
Ask what the Border Patrol finds along the border.
Oh
They
yeah.
have Muslim prayer rugs. They have all sorts
So
of.
if you're Muslim, you shouldn't be in this country.
Not illegally. You shouldn't just sneak across the border. It's a,
But
it's a
listen,
sign we could have
The
terrorists
question
coming
you
over.
have to answer, these children cannot come legally. There is absolutely
Well,
no
then they
way.
need to stay where they are because we have to.
And die?
So they
And
should,
just-
it's
That's
better that they
speculation.
die.
That's speculation.
Well, let's be honest.
Well, you know, Americans are dying because of illegal aliens too.
Yes, and I'm concerned about that. I'm not going to just blow it off.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, but you won't send them back. You wouldn't send them home either.
Send them home. And like his shirt says, you know, where are we going to send you back home to? And him and me and all of
I was
us.
born here and I'm a citizen.
And your family and your family.
Yeah, well, that's called history.
Well, it is called history.
History is what we're living right now.
We're living history. 1 minute ago is history.
Today is history.
No Native Americans need the jobs
so all
that
these
not
native
South
communities
Americans.
out there, they're history, right? That's why they're
South
living there,
American
over there,
illegals should not come
and
here
with
and
no
demand
land,
jobs from the
with
Native
no
American
resources, with no
citizens
nothing.
We need to work out solutions to make this happen.
Well, chaos is not a solution.
No, we're not suggesting
That's
chaos.
No, but that's what we're asking. This government is creating the most biggest chaos in the whole world.
Well, yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
Obama and Bush,
then
both parties.
You're
Yeah.
not responsible
Yeah.
for that, or maybe, but you're
No, I
not.
didn't
But
vote.
they are.
I didn't vote of
creating-
either.
It doesn't matter if it's Obama or Bush or anyone here.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who's
Romney or
president.
whoever.
It's this country, the system that is bringing this world to chaos. It isn't chaos. So if you don't think that there's going to be reaction from everyone else, because the poverty that they've been created, because all the bombs and the soldiers that came to kill their people, if nothing's going to happen.
You've got drug cartel killing your people too.
Oh yeah, you
I
know,
know,
you
we
know
got-
who they're friends with, and
who
you know
are
who they
you-
work with.
Who's buying the drugs?
No, but with the mafias here, the white, born here mafia that gets billions and billions of dollars in their banks and their properties, they're the ones. So don't blame just one people. Everyone
No, I
is
know
working
it's a
on
lot
it.
of people.
It is your
And-
people, as you're saying, your people is very involved in it.
Our government
So
is
get them out
probably
of
getting
there.
drug
And many
cartel
of them,
money.
and many of them are owners of banks. Many of them have
That's
these
the
nice.
truth.
Yeah,
Oh, of
I
course it
believe it.
is.
To tell our border patrol to step aside and just allow stampedes of people through, and many of them are criminals in their own country, and I think we deserve rights too.
I'm sorry, you said your people? Who
Some are
your- who
MS-13
your
gang
people?
members.
Yeah.
Anyone who's a citizen
Anyone who's a
or a
citizen.
legal resident.
And so that means if you are a citizen or a legal resident, but people came here from somewhere, always.
Yes, so did Native Americans. So we got to work with what the borders are now.
That is so funny.
So
They applied to
And you couldn't go across another Native American state.
Their bottom line
currently, these children that are coming here are refugees. They should be considered
Well,
refugees.
that's the story. Yeah, but
No, it happened yesterday.
Open your eyes. Open your eyes to what the conditions in those countries. We need to redefine what war is. These people are living. The chances of them dying before the age of 18. For
they
parents
went-
to
if
put
they
their
had to go
children on
through
a train.
Mexico to come here, they didn't just stop where they could speak the language and get along. They
What?
Do you know what
Make
language
sure.
you're talking about? English?
no in
English?
Mexico you
English?
can get a
No.
regional visitor card.
You're talking about English?
you don't
I'm
speak-
Native American. What
What
language
What,
you were
you
talking
speak
about?
Spanish.
No.
You don't speak Native American.
What?
You speak Spanish. Those
Oh, Native Americans a language, you see? Native Americans, that's right.
What do you define as Native
another
Americans?
Do you speak
I
Native
speak
American
US.
language?
And do you speak our Native? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Kawakti Tijuana o Kawakti.
I don't.
That's a Native American
Oh,
language.
that's a native language. That's a native language.
Yeah, but you're not
Isni
a citizen,
Shahurata.
are you?
This is a native language. Do you
Yeah,
understand
from
that? That's a
South
native.
America, from South
No,
America.
They're the
do you know it?
Americans.
No,
No, I don't.
way. Oh my
Kawima
God.
si kachop takas le tinka no
South
po
America
haglom.
doesn't give you a right to America illegally.
Po haglom kachop takas le kap no. Wilampe has kubishiri kachon kachop takas le
So are you an
kubishiri.
American citizen?
Kachon kachop takas le kubishiri.
Are you an American citizen? Then you have a right to be here. So what? I don't see what the argument is. I would never
Are you
go to someone
American
else's-
citizen?
Yeah.
Can I see yours?
No, I don't have
Show me your
to.
ribbons. Show me your ribbons.
No,
I
don't
want to
have
see
to.
it.
I don't have to.
Exactly.
look
Me
like.
too. Anyone? Nobody has to.
I think if we all work together to love one another, it'll be a better planet. It really
Harmonic
would.
convergence theory is great, but the truth is that we're just being stampeded.
Build the movement, though. You know, I'm not being stampeded by anybody.
I know that a member of my family was sexually assaulted by an illegal alien, and everyone feels sorry for him.
Yeah,
And no one feels
and
sorry
that's
for
terrible.
him.
But it also happens to right here. My daughter was assaulted by a white gentleman, American guy. So it happens all around. That's terrible.
Yeah, but what's relevant is if the government had done this job, he wouldn't have been here. It would have been just some American thug that we can't do
When you
much
have
about.
time, please
except for
see
put him
this
in
and make a
jail.
reflection about
Okay,
this.
well, I heard your side of it, but I side more on let's love one another.
Oh yeah, and that sounds really good, but
No, but it is good. It
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
and I'm
it is
practicing
good,
it.
but
I'm practicing it.
Yeah, you're not helping American minorities who need jobs.
Oh, I'm helping them
Prove it.
because I love it. I mean, anything I can to help them, just like my other fellow brothers.
Love one another by treating everybody equally, and that is by setting laws so everybody.
I know law. We don't need a law to be respectful to each other. We'll be respectful to each other. We don't need a law, right?
No, I know the law.
But when you love everybody, people come from different cultures, with different customs,
and that's okay. I adjust a little bit.
Boundaries.
Well, I don't have to set any law. I just adjust to the cultures. I maybe get
If
on
you don't believe in law, then
well, I do.
I didn't do it. I can't do it.
Unnecessary law or illegal laws or wrong laws or immoral laws. I kind of snub my nose at immoral laws and I just can't go yes sir and follow a law that I know in my heart and know with my maker is wrong. I can't acknowledge that law myself. I'm thinking more of the respect with the human respect, not a ledger in a book, written in.
Don't believe in a certain law. You can protest against it. You can try to change it by legal elections and stuff like that. But you don't go and do things illegally just because you don't believe in law.
Well, one thing I probably wouldn't do is go out of my way to go try to, like vigilante, or try to empower that, to back that law that I don't even believe in. I would say that law may be a law on the books. I don't like it. I'm against it. I'm going to try to rally against it. I'll do it and support people who are against it. That's because I know it's a bad law. That's what I would do to that law. I'm not trying to circumvent it. But I don't acknowledge it. I don't acknowledge it, and I think it's wrong. It's shamefully
when
wrong.
we get to pick and choose which laws we follow, we just have chaos.
You know what? Some laws are not, just like I was saying, we don't need a law to say to be respectful to each other. We can just do that without a law because we're respectful to each other.
But it's not respectful for people to stampede in here and take jobs from our own citizens and then say, well, it's my ancestry.
When that problem arises, I think, why don't these big corporations and these big businesses bring the jobs back?
Well, absolutely.
That's where I focus on. I don't really go to that next step to saying that guy took a job I could have. I don't go to that far.
But it's
China power and labor.
Make it in China. Those flags.
That flag was probably made in China.
That is true. That is true.
Do you have a tag or anything on you? Sorry.
Oh, can I ask
No.
Who are you with?
I'm with Indie Media.
questions?
Independent Media.
Independent media?
Yeah.
Could I
Okay,
ask
when you get a
questions?
chance.
Yep.
I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Thanks for coming out, Joe.
Yeah.
They were sending it out.